Celestial Guardians introduced 28 new shiny cards into TCG Pocket. And for the first time ever, supporter card got an immersive. And these two facts will affect the way you collect cards in this game. Welcome back to another TCG Pocket video, it's Brovini here. Today we're focusing on the offering rates of Celestial Guardians, the latest set in TCG Pocket. Credits to Banana Tanks for making this graphic based on numbers that we have both calculated in terms of the offering rates. Let's first address the elephant in the room. This set, despite not being focused on shiny Pokemon unlike Shining Revelry was, introduced more shiny cards than Shining Revelry. Each pack art, so Solgaleo pack and Lunala pack, have 14 shiny cards, all unique. Whereas for Shining Revelry, there were also 14 cards, but there was only one pack to choose from. So as a set, Celestial Guardians introduced more shiny cards, but none of the shiny cards mechanically affect how we play the game, because you might know by now, these shiny cards are exactly the same as cards we've had in the past. I mean, if you actually go through every single shiny card in Celestial Guardians, you'll find that most of them come from Genetic Apex. Not all of them. At first I had assumed that it was all of them, but actually turned out it wasn't the case, because this Executor, the non-shiny variant, is from Mythical Island. This Ghastly is from Triumphant Light. So while most were from Genetic Apex, several are from other packs as well. In fact, weirdly enough, this Shiny Execute, the non-shiny variant, isn't from a previous pack. It's actually from Celestial Guardians Lunala pack. So both the shiny and the non-shiny variant are from the current set, so this is a brand new card. It's just the same as the non-shiny variant from the current set. Regardless, unlike Shining Revelry, where pretty much all of the cards were new and unique and probably affected the meta to some extent, this is not the case for Celestial Guardians, and I'm guessing for all future coming sets, they will all have shinies where they're just rehashing old cards in terms of their mechanic, their attacks and stats. So while that might not sound great because none of these cards are new, therefore it's purely for collection purposes, I would argue that for new players, this is really good. Because new players who are trying to follow the old players by pulling the current set, well, they have a chance to get some old cards as well in their shiny form. Granted, the rate isn't amazing, like if you really wanted Starmie EX, you would go to Genetic Apex and pull from there. But for newer players who may just want to be able to pull new cards like the rest of us, I think this is a good mechanic. Especially given that these shiny cards don't take up the rate of you pulling 1-star, 2-star, 3-star or Crown Rare. If you saw my video on Shining Revelry, you'll know that the offering rates for the newly introduced 1 and 2 Shining Star, so the shiny cards, did not take away the rate of you pulling on Crown Rares or Immersive or 1-star or 2-star or even 4 Diamond. They took the offering rates from 2 Diamond and 3 Diamond to give us the 1 Shining Star and 2 Shining Star rarities. And that's a good thing for collectors, because generally speaking, we double up on these 2 and 3 diamonds a lot anyway. So it almost is purely a good thing to have these shiny rarities, even if they're just rehashing old mechanics. And while I personally prefer the way that Shining Revelry had done it, because the shiny cards are new cards of this set, they're not rehashing old mechanics. I'm not totally upset that they're doing it in this other way where sets are not focused on shinies like Celestial Guardians. But there is one problem, in fact quite a big problem, if you pull God packs in Celestial Guardians. For one, if you pull a God pack, 33% of the cards that you can get in a God pack are shinies in Celestial Guardians. This is my spreadsheet just detailing all the numbers involved, but there are 14 cards that are shiny out of a total of 42 cards that are 1-star or above. So God pack means all cards are at least 1-star or above. That is exactly 1/3 of cards that can be shiny. So that means if you happen to pull a God pack, you are extremely likely to get a shiny. But remember, we said that shinies are just rehashing old cards. You're not really getting a lot of new cards. So I'm just going through my Discord channel, looking at the last 3 God packs that were flexed in our Pocket Flex channel. And yeah, indeed, they all have shinies because the rate of getting a shiny is just that good in a God pack. And that might not be a good thing for you because you might not want an old card that you already have multiple copies of, just a shiny variant of it. So this pack here, we got a shiny Ghastly. This pack, we got a shiny Wiggly and a shiny Venusaur. This pack, we see a shiny Ivysaur. This pack is the worst. It's got 4 shiny cards and 1 pretty cool Solgaleo EX. But if I'm a long-term player, I don't really need Venusaur EX Starmie, EX Staryu, Starmie. These are all from Genetic Apex. Sure, they're great for collection purposes, so if you're a shiny hunter, this is a great news. But if you're otherwise hunting for cards that you can use for gameplay, well, this is kind of bad news if you happen to pull a God Pack. And in addition, because of how many shinies there are, remember, shinies cannot show on Wonder Pick. So knowing that if a pack has either Crown Rare, 3-star, or shiny, so there are 16 cards of those rarities, anytime any of those cards show up in a God Pack, well, it will never show up on someone else's Wonder Pick. And in addition to that, of course, even if you don't have any of these cards, there's a dead rate on showing on Wonder Pick, meaning that there's just a chance that it won't show up anyway. So the odds of us seeing good cards in Wonder Pick is just much worse than before because of these shiny cards. And so good news for new players, but bad news for long-term players. And regarding the immersive card being a supporter card, that's also slightly bad news for meta chasing people, because you now have one less way to get an EX card, usually the meta defining cards. So let's say you're after Solgaleo EX, well, you can only get it as either the Crown Rare, which we know is the rarest of all cards, so let's just ignore that for a moment. You will have to get it as either a 4 diamond or a 2-star rarity. Thankfully for Solgaleo and Lunala EX, they both have the rainbow border option as well, slightly improving our odds of getting Solgaleo EX. Now you might argue that having Immersive Lily means we have better odds of pulling Lily overall, but Lily is a 2 diamond trainer card for meta building, for deck building purposes. Immersive Lily doesn't help. You will get enough Lily from just opening a number of packs, not as many as is required to get the EX cards. As for everything else, for 1 diamond, 2 diamond, 3 diamond, the rarities and the offering rates didn't change too much. For 4 diamond, there are 5 EX cards per pack art, so just focus on whichever EX card you need the most when you're opening packs. The offering rates are quite similar to the last main set being dropped, that's Space-Time Smackdown. And yes, 2-star rates are as horrible as ever. Now, if we were to ignore Shining Revelry's rates because they introduced so many EX cards that the pool of 2-star cards were huge, so it had the worst 2-star rates, ignoring that, Celestial Guardians actually does have the worst rate of getting 2-star cards. And if you're after one specific 2-star card, the rate of you pulling that card is expected to be about at least 1 in 543 packs. So if you're after full art Lana here, you're gonna have to open 543 packs to be expected to get at least 1, which is pretty horrible. The only set that was worse than that was Shining Revelry. So there you have it, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the offering rates of this set. I personally feel there's some positives and there's some negatives, and I'm happy that they're kind of helping new players out by giving them shiny Pokemon that can be used to catch up with deck building. But otherwise, I'm not overly fond of the way they're doing shiny cards in these non-shiny focused sets. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.